Hey friends, Lucian here with the Bullish Bears team, making the watch list video for Friday, September 22nd. I'm going to start off here with reviewing some of the alerts from today. Only a few of them went off because, as you can see here, we had a down day in the market. You'll see 1, 2, 3 candles went up to this resistance area, kind of went close to it today, kind of dropped down. Which would make sense. It naturally wants to gravitate down to that 13 EMA the further away it gets. So who knows if it'll bounce down or go back up, but this 13 EMA is more of the equilibrium, so if price stays above it and continues forward, that's bullish. If it falls below the 13 EMA, that could potentially be bearish. You'll see the 13 EMA is right along this resistance point here too. So obviously if it falls below that, you got to watch. It's all about patterns, and what the market does during the day affects most of these small cap stocks as well. So you'll see most of the ones on the watch list today were finished a little bit negative, but a few of them triggered. So let's take a look at a few of them and what they did. We'll take a look at CUR at or above 138. I canceled the ones that are outstanding. I reset them every day. But again, if you set alerts within Thinkorswim, you can keep yours open. I personally, since I do these every day, I don't like to have a whole bunch set up because I could just get tons. I could get like 50 alerts right when the market opens, and that could just be overwhelming. So it's just all a matter of what your trading strategy is. But since I'm mostly doing day trading, I reset them every day. So CUR at or above 138. Take a look over here, and we will see CUR. You'll see this one right at the start of the day. It triggered the 138. Let's see if we can go over here. Yeah, right when the day started, that 138 would have kicked in, and you'll see bull flag, went up, crashed down. Usually that 2 pullbacks and then a sell-off. So a 1, 2, maybe 3 here, or if you want to call this 1, 2, goes up, creates a peak, sells off. But if you fell this on the 1 minute, the 138 would have triggered right away, had a tiny little pullback, and then you'll see this one all the way up from 138 up to 180. That's 42-cent move, so that's a huge pop. Realistically, you would have probably, if you got in on this one here, if you missed this initial move, once it pulled back, you could have got in probably right around this 157 marker. You would have probably sold in at around 175 towards the top if you were smart. That's still 18-cent move. That's fantastic. Once it pulls back again, you got to be careful. As you can see, it was heading right up to that 50 SMA, and it rejected down. But again, day trading is all about getting scalps. It's all about watching the patterns. You can see a clearly identifiable bull flag there on the 1 minute, and then it went up. If you just waited for the 5 minute, you would have waited till price broke the 5, broke above this 5 minute, which it did, right around 159. You could have wrote it up to potentially 180, but as you can see, once it broke above here, which was 159, it did drop back down to about 154 here. So that's why it's important to look at the 1 minute as well as the 5 minute to find your entries. So again, if you look at this right here, this crosshair, where is that one? That's on that 5 minute right there. So yeah, you'll see you would have wanted to get your entry on this pullback and once it broke up. So, looking at these, watching the patterns here, you got to find your entry. So let the patterns form on the 5 minute, find your entries on the 1 minute. Again, a lot of people will use the 3 minute as well. It's just a matter of how quick you want to be. I really like the 5 minute because it shows exactly what the pattern traders are really looking at for the ultimate pattern. So sometimes I'll miss some quicker moves, but I like to ideally let it form on the 5 minute and then find the entry on the 1 minute and trade that way, and then coincide the breakout on the daily. So that was for CUR. That was a nice move. Plug, PLUG, at or above 273. I've been having this issue lately with Thinkorswim. I don't know what's going on. I'll put stuff in here, and then I think when I'm like clicking on one of these, it like deletes some of the ones that are on my watch list, which is very annoying. So at or above 273, you'll see this one right here. It kind of fell down to start the day, went green to red, and then it would have triggered right here. And then it kind of really did nothing and then traded sideways and crashed down. So 273 up to 280, not much of a big move there. This is more of a bearish day. This was a bear flag, and you could get tripped up here when it's going back to the previous close. But that's where you want to wait for a close below. See, it tricked you here a few times. It wasn't clearly identifiable like this bear flag right over here. Once it fell below previous day's closed and then gravitated back to the 13 EMA, once price fell below, where is it here? This green candle here, you could have taken a short right here, rode this down from 270, down to 258. Not much, hey, it's still 12 cents. That's what it's all about. And then waited for it to go to the 13 EMA again. You'll see it was kind of a false break above, and then you could have taken it here short below this green candlestick, 261 down to 253 again. But if you're scalping 5, 10, 15 cent moves, that's a great way to look at these identifiable patterns and scalp them. Sometimes you're not going to get the huge move, and you just got to take the scalps and take your profit along the way. I am more naturally a scalping type of trader. So again, you can see too, the reason why this one moves slowly and not as huge of increments, you'll see a really high float stock here. These are shares outstanding. It's similar to float. It's a little bit higher. But basically, if you're having this set up within Thinkorswim over here, anything over 20 million is going to move up and down in a pretty rapid motion. 50 million, kind of mid-range, kind of decent. Anything over 100 million is going to move a lot slower. So it's kind of like a blessing and a curse. Blessing in the sense that it moves slower. You can kind of time your entries and exits a little bit better. But a curse because it goes slow. So it's just all a matter of what type of trader you are. If you like the crazy low float stocks, then, focus on ones under 20 million. If you like mid-range, 50 to 100 million is decent. For like a mid-range mover. Anything over 100 million is going to move, either direction on a slower basis. So if you're just like a slow scalper kind of person and you're at work, you want to watch these trades, let them play out, then, some of these ones over 100 million might be good to play for you. Let's take a look at NM at or below 177. Again, this one deleted from my watch list as well, which is weird. At or below 177. You'll see right here. It kind of probably triggered it right in the beginning, and then it kind of did not much of anything. And then when it fell 177 here, down to again 172, maybe down to 172. So you would have made like a 5 cent move. Not a big deal, but again, it's over 100 million. It's going to move a lot slower. But good risk management. So if this did go against you and it didn't do what you wanted it to do, it's going to move a lot slower. You can take the loss or take a real tiny gain. Again, all a matter of your preference. CRC at or above 997. All these deleted today. It's so annoying. CRC at or above 997. This one, you'll see this one broke right above, right at the beginning of the day. So you'll see this one. Let me go over here. Okay, perfect. 997. It did this little wedge, just kind of like you'll see here, this little wedge pattern. You would have had to get it really quickly. If you're watching on the first 3 minutes, you'll see it broke $10, went all the way up to, 10.16. So that's, if you got in 9.97, 9.98, that's a 15, 18 cent move. There you go. And then it crashed, kind of came crumbling right back down. So a lot of these ones will break the highs, break these patterns in the first few minutes. So you got to be very quick on a lot of these. And then sometimes they'll develop a pattern. You'll see they'll kind of go up, go down, and then you'll see they'll trade sideways for a little ways. And then you got to wait till later on in the day, and then they'll have sometimes a little bit more of a breakout depending on the pattern. But this one kind of just traded sideways. So if you're looking for the real quick move, you got to be ready right at the bell, right around 9:30. For sometimes a lot of these to get the quick pop, then let the pattern form, and then see if later on down the road, during the day, if it's going to break the highs and make a new pattern. That's where shorting comes in. To be able to short a reversal. So on something like this, let's see how this one would have played out. Once it made this candle here, you could have taken a short below right here at 10.04 and shorted it right down to, 9.79. So you may have missed the pop, but once it kind of created this doji candle, a lot of people would think, oh, that could be a bull flag. Well, it would have been if the price went up and broke that red candle, but it didn't. It crashed down below it and right around VWAP there, and it fell below VWAP. So, you could have taken that down for a few minutes, and that would have been a decent short. But even with shorting, again, shorting and longing, there's risks to both. Ideally, when day trading, you're looking to make a scalp on each of them. Obviously, everyone wants to hit a home run, make 50 cents or $1, but that's not always realistic. It's all about getting these small moves and capitalizing on them, and finding really ideally the best setup. And ideally, that's why it's important to learn how to long and to short. QNST, this one has been just this garbage stock. It had the most volume in the past few days, and it has. But this one I've been looking to find a short entry on this thing because it's just been going ridiculously crazy. I'm waiting for this stupid thing to crash, but I keep missing an entry on it because, as you can see, it gets a green candle next day. It kind of fakes you down, so it'll fall below previous day's close, go back up. It'll fall below previous day's close a little bit, go back up. Here again, here again, here again, here again. Look at this, all these fake outs, and this thing's been running on very light volume. 300,000 has been the highest it's been in the past few days. So this thing's so overextended. I want to see this thing fall right back down to that 13 EMA. But it's hard to trade it without any volume. But I am going to put this stupid thing on the watch list because, just out of principle, I just want to see this stupid thing fall. And KND was another one. I had a wrong alert, or I had an alert set up on it, but I didn't put a long alert. I only had a short alert. And actually, this thing would have been a great long for today. This was on the watch list, KND, at or below 550, which is what I was looking at. And then I think I just totally, it's so weird. I had this on my watch list, and then it deleted it. I didn't put it on my charts to watch it. And then this was the biggest mover of the day. I saw these 3 red candles down. You'll see it was at a yearly low. I was waiting for the buyers to come in or short. This is right at 550 yesterday, right around 560 it was. It had a base of 550, so I said at or below 550. So if it fell below 550, I would have taken a short on it. But I had it on my watch list. I would have taken it long if the buyers came back in. And as you can see, this one was beautiful. Look at this. This is like a perfect setup. This flagpole came right back down. Then it formed this perfect wedge pattern. And right when it broke the high of this wedge pattern at 592, you could have taken this one candlestick up from 592 up to 619. That's a 28 cents, 27 cent move. Then it kind of flagged down here. And then it went back up again. You could have rode the thing. It would have been great. You could technically have just ridden it until it broke this 13 EMA. So if you got in at the break of this top of this wedge, let's say around 593, you could have technically rode it until it broke this 13 EMA. Even if you got out right over here, 621, that's still almost a 30 cent move if you just waited for it to break. Ideally, you want to take your profits, look at the patterns. You could see 1 pullback, 2 pullbacks, then I would have gotten out up here. So 592 up to 646, that's over a 50 cent move. So I had this one on the watch list. I just had the wrong alert on it. And then it just totally deleted off my watch list, which is annoying. So speaking of which, I'm going to delete it off my watch list. I'm going to keep QNST. Cure I'm going to take off. CRC. That one may stay. Although I personally don't like anything on my watch list over $10. I just like really tight stops and management. So if you want to look at this one might be, oh man, this one could be either way. I might keep this on for right now. I might keep it on there. Take a look at it later when I do the actual watch list. Let's see if anything else. I'll just use those ones for right now. Let's see. Delete these. Don't like any of these patterns. Nope. Look at that. What did I have on that one for plug? At or above 273. And that one today, you'll see it moved up. Pre-market was going sideways. And then this thing just faked, was a great fake out. Or was I talking about this one earlier? I think I may have showed that. Yeah, it just was a great short down. But you got to be careful of these. That's why you got to look at support, resistance, and these moving average lines and previous day close lines as well. All right, before I go into the nightly scan, I like to go right through these new high scans and new low scans. Now, people have been asking me, and this is reminding me, I'm going to see right now if I can figure out how I did that new high one. I can't remember how I did that stupid thing. So I might have to, I'll see right now if I remember how to do it. If not, I'll do another video down the road. I don't want to take up too much of this video. So let's see if I can figure out how I did the new high one. So I think it's create scan, and then add study filter. Let's see here. I'm looking for one that say new highs because I didn't create it that way. I just want to see if it shows. No. I will find it for you guys. Just keep reminding me. Oh, is it near high? That's not it. Dang it. I got to figure out how I did that. I can't remember how I did it. It's just been like add fundamental filter. Setup scan. That's really going to bother me. I don't remember how I set that up. Study filter. Add filter for stock, add study filter. Let's see. Again, I will keep reminding me guys to do this. I don't want to make this too long. That really makes me annoyed right now. I can't figure out how the heck I did that. Let me see if I can figure it out over here. New highs. Study, custom. So it's under study and custom. Let me try that. Load, create, scan, query, add study filter, custom. Let's try. Is it? Let's see if I can go in and edit that one and see how I did it. Edit new highs. You'll see this right here. What is this? How did I do this? Oh, let me try edit here. High is equal to the highest data. How that? Guys, I'll figure out how to do this later. I don't know how the heck I did it. But having this having this new highs and new lows scanner is awesome. I have that going during the day. If you want to get it quicker than I'll make the video, just call TD Ameritrade. I'm sure that's probably what I did to do it. TD Ameritrade's awesome customer service, so they'll definitely help you out. So again, just make sure you remind me. I'll eventually get to it because I really want to make a video on it. Shoot me a message on Facebook just saying, please tell us how to create the new high scanner, because I want to make a video on it so that we can figure this out and not have to have people keep asking and have it done. So now I'm just trying to see ones that might be a good short or a good continuation up if I like a pattern. That was a breakout. Let's see here. Yeah, it's breaking out. So I will I will put what is this? Cure, Q-U-R-E, whatever this is called, on the watch list. I would look here. So see if it goes up and it breaks. What's that? 964. Put an alert at 963. And then if it falls below 950, let's see here, at or below 950, I'll put 949. Then you might take it short. So if it breaks 964, I would be careful right around $10. See what happens up there. But if it falls below 950, watch for support here at around 917-ish, and then possibly further from there, whatever it does. But we will put QURE on the watch list. Let me take a look at CRC again, how I feel about this one. I mean, it's kind of trading sideways. Want to see, I mean, this could go up further or it could pull back. Want to see it break 1024. Or watch and see if it falls below 1018. I'd actually want to see it fall below $10 to see if it falls below at or below $10 as a possible short. You know, using right around here, close to the 13 EMA as support. So that could be actually a decent short if that pulls back. You have a few days of it running here. So this might be a nice one, again, for potential continuation or a nice short down. So that's why I like the CRC, because there's movement. I like shorting a lot. So it's had 4 green days. You know, market's pulling back a little bit. That could easily give back quite a bit, and that's a decent sized movement. It can give back at least half, if not go back down towards that 13 EMA. Let me see some of these here. RBS. I hate these little crazy candlesticks like that. IGD. No. Look at this one. These are ones that trap you. Go up, come back down the next day. Like all these crazy wicks, they trap you. Garbage. It's really easy to get trapped in those. EBV. No. Plug. All right, so now I'll look at some of the yearly lows for number one, a continuation down further, or a dip buy. Man, this one's really been falling. Goodness gracious. Mux. DMPI. No. Excuse me. DTEA has 3. Let me see if there's any. It's really at its. I mean, that can continue falling. It's like a weird spot. I'd like to see it closer to a whole or $half amount. So I'm not going to put that on. Right at 4. It found a base. Don't love it. PPR. No. Again, some of these you could play and stuff. It's just I just like to see something that looks really good. And no. And when I'm saying really good, like a good move up or a good move down at a whole or $half amount. So I don't love any of those. I'm going to take a look at a couple of these over here just to make sure that none of the ones that I looked at today were garbage. I'd like to check and see if any of them are 5-cent movers. So this S right here in DA shows shortable, but if there's S with something else, like a 5 and a C, that's like a 5-cent increment stock. I don't like those. See, QURE. So I try not to put junk on these, you know, like those types of ones for you guys that can be hard to trade. All right, so those are both in the clear. All right. Okay, so we'll put those so far, and let's go into the watch list and see what we got here for a scan. We'll do the watch list, load scan. I always change this up a lot, I do. 30 cents, $10, 300,000 volume, 5% gain. Okay, not too many, because today is a down day. Then there's not going to be as many plays. That happens. So that's good. AKTX. Don't like it. That one had a big move up today. You see, it went up, came back down here, broke out. And you see, once it broke over with 796, went all the way. Look at that. Just crazy mover. Parabolic mover. Low floater. Man, that's a nice move. And I was looking at it pre-market. We were talking about it in the trade room. If you haven't joined us yet in the trade room, you can find us on Skype, on our website as well. But you'll see here, move this up here for you guys. We have about 549 members in there already. And you'll see people talking today, but I think someone was talking this morning about AK, what's that? AKTX. So we're on here all day long talking this morning, stuff like that. I'm not sure what it was, but make sure you join us on Skype, Bullish Bears Trade Room. We have a free trade room, guys, that, you know, again, we're talking about, you know, trades. Like, we're making these videos. I'm showing you a video. I'm basically letting you look over my shoulder as I'm making my own personal watch list. I'm giving you the exact alerts I'm looking at. So basically, you're getting my exact watch list with my exact alerts. And these alerts, if you've been watching the past few videos and you're paying attention to them, these alerts are firing off every single day. So we're putting winning trades on here every single day for you guys. And some people would say, well, how come, you know, like, you just don't tell us exactly what trade that you're in and call out alerts that way? And ideally, we don't want to be that type of trade room. And ideally, you don't necessarily want to be in that type of trade room, because you think about it, if, again, I'm not some professional trader by any means. I'm still learning myself. But if you join a professional chat room with a big trader, right, that has hundreds, if not a couple thousand people in their trade room, if they're calling an alert out to you with a trade that they're in, number one, they're already in that position, and usually they're in a sizable position. So they've gotten their sizable position, they're in. They call out that trade to their group. Now their followers all start to come into that, and obviously it jacks the price up of the stock. Now, that person, that trade room leader, has made money. They sell, so they're always going to sell before you. And then they're going to call, once they're going to say, hey, sold my position or about to sell my position, then you're going to sell after them. So they're entering before you, and you're exiting, and you're and you're exiting after them. And when they exit, they're going to drop the price of the stock. And when a whole bunch of people go and sell, that's going to drop the price of a stock. So you have to be lightning fast. So what you really want to do is you want to be part of a trade room that actually teaches you how to trade yourself. And if you really think about it, it's just common sense. If you're a really good trader, you don't need to copy somebody else's trades, right? Doesn't make any sense. Once you're a good trader yourself, you actually don't necessarily want people in your same trades or calling them out, because like you want to kind of fly under the radar. So a lot of people will get trapped, especially a lot of newbies, and they go into a day trading room and they're not knowing what they're doing, and they're trying to copy the trades of a leader, and they don't realize that they're going to get burnt most of the time doing it that way. So we're trying to run our trade room actually a little bit differently, where we just collaborate. You'll see these videos that I'm making. You're not really seeing, sometimes I'll talk about a position I'm in the trade room when I'm trading it, but I don't really highlight it as exactly what I'm doing, because I want you guys to be good traders yourself. I want us to be more like of a collaborative trade room, where we're like sharing ideas together, talking about things, but not the focus being on what trade I'm making or what trade Dan's making. Because again, we're trying to do things differently. We're trying to empower and teach everybody to be good traders themselves. So basically, when you're getting my watch list with these alerts every night, you're getting exactly what I'm looking at. I don't know what I'm going to play, if I'm going to play any of those, until the following day when something happens. Sometimes I'll pick up on something different with trade ideas and stuff like that. But again, it's all about learning to become a trader yourself. And personally, I think trade rooms that are charging $150 a month to basically copy their trades is a waste of money. You're going to lose most of the time. You know, and unfortunately, I mean, the statistical fact of the matter is 90% of traders lose anyway. So no matter what you do with trading, only 10% succeed. So 90% of the people in those trade rooms are losing money. So again, not that it's bad, not that they're doing anything wrong, but ideally what you want to do is learn how to trade yourself. Take these videos. I'm making them, yes, they're longer, but they're full of content, and I'm showing you again how to become a trader. Your version of trading might be different than mine. I'm more of, let's say, a short bias or reversal trader. You might take stocks longer. So you might be a better long trader than I am, and vice versa, you know? So that's it. It's just all a matter of what you're comfortable with. You can take these alerts, ride them up for the quick pop-up, or you can just kind of sit back, let the pattern form, and then revert, short them on the way down. So just because I might be short biased doesn't mean you should be short biased. So that's really what it's all about. It's just finding your comfort level and just really practicing and becoming a good trader yourself. And that's what we're trying to do for you guys. We're trying to give you guys so much content because we ideally want to help our followers become really good traders. If you've been watching our videos, we are a donation-based community. We're not charging membership fees. Ideally, we'd like to stay that way. We ideally would not like to charge membership fees down the road, but that all depends really on you guys. The more that you guys donate to us, the less likely that we'll charge membership fees down the road. It's kind of we're trying a different model and seeing how it works. And so ideally, we'd like to keep all of this information going and flowing for free for you guys. But again, it all depends on how much everybody continues donating and what type of value that you guys see and the content that we provide. So that was my little rant. Let's take a look at some of these here. RTK. Don't love it. GEVO. Wow, look at that. Right below $1 pulls back. See that? Look at that little candlestick right up, pulls right back down. ARDM. Again, another one. Went up, kind of pulled back a little bit. Don't love it. KDUS. Again, kind of a bad market day today. Not really loving many of these. Want to see if that breaks above 126, but ideally I'd like to see it break 130. So maybe I will put that one on the watch list. At or above 130. The reason why I'm doing that, excuse me, is you got the 200 SMA right there, and it pulled back right at it today, that right below it. So obviously it needs to break above that. but then it wants to break above this pattern, this resistance area right here. So you have a window between 130, and then I would be careful between 150 and 60. This one could be, it's not really the greatest one, to be honest with you. I don't love it. Let me see if this is a garbage one over here with those 5-cent ones. OCRX. All right, so maybe I might put it on there for right now, but I don't love it. CYCC, that one I like. So this one, let's see here. It's going up into the gap. Might be breaking out. EMA lines 13 and the 50 are close to pinching. If it can break above, what is this here? If it could break above that 228 marker, put a 227 alert. If it could break above there, see if it goes and breaks and fills that gap up to $3. It'll go up into that gap. This is a nice potential breakout if it goes up and continues further. So got to watch that, CYCC. And then keep an eye on right around $2 as support. So if it breaks above that 227 marker, see if it goes up and fills the gap. A lot of times it'll go up into the gap and then it'll want to come down and retest this area. So if it breaks resistance, this is now support. If it cracks that, I'd get out and see if it continues further or if it falls back down. So CYCC, it's definitely in a breakout area. Now whether that'll happen or not sure. NVFY, no. ALQA, no. ACTG. Actually, let me go over and see this one real quick. CYCC. Yep, okay, that's good. ACTG, I don't like when they just go up and they pull back like that. I like it to finish at the high. So this one, now being that the market may be pulling back potentially, ACTG, I look for it to break 530 for continuation upwards, but I personally like it to see if that thing falls below $5, at or below $5, this might be a good short. So at or below $5, and that could be a short down easily to 450. Even further down to 409 potentially. So I'm going to put a line right at $5. I'm going to color code it red to see it's that critical area. See if it falls or goes up. And you'll see this is a big breakout area right above this area. So see if it goes back and wants to retest it. So ACTG might be a decent short. KND. Darn it. Missed that one today. QURE. I already have that one. Let me take a look at ACTG. Yeah, scratch ACTG. It's a 5-cent increment one. These are the things I'm trying to avoid for you guys. I don't like trading those. It just immediately means you're pretty much down 5 cents when you get into something like that. I don't like it. So it's less that I got to clutter up the watch list with. ADOM. Don't love it. MSRT, pot stock. APHB, no. ITEK. As you'll see, a lot of these ones are just not really looking the greatest today because of, market wasn't doing so hot today. So I would look at the 170 marker here as the potential, it is bull flagging. Go up to look and see if it's going to go fill that gap up there. And if not, could be a short back down to make it pull. I'd watch the 13 EMA, see where it goes from there. 152. So I'm going to see ITEK. Yeah. All right, so I'll put ITEK at or above 155, but I would look and be very careful and see what happens in the gap up. See if it goes and fills that gap at 170. Be careful watching that. See if it continues up or if it pulls back. Again, I'm not in love with many of these here today. They're not the greatest. CVSI, TANH. Let's see here. CO3 for this one could be. We want to see it break 455. Kind of pull back right around that 440 today. If it opens below 435, that could be a short down, potentially down to 389. Again, you got to shift your focus. If tomorrow's a down day, who knows? You got to see if it's going to break that 435 area. If not, again, might be a decent short. So I would put this one at or below 434, and then at or above. See, I'd be careful with that because there's not much of a window. This can go unless it breaks above. I would say if it breaks at or above 450, I'd say 54. Create an alert at or above 454 to see if you're going to take that thing long. It's caught in that range right now that you want to see. Is it going to be going up or going down? So let me take a look at TANH. Let's see if that's a decent one. All right, yeah, I'll keep that one. TANH. RENN. Right below 880. That could be a nice short down to rejected right around $9. Came back down, closed right on that neckline. This could be a really nice, this could be a decent short. So RENN, I would look at or below 880 for a nice short. Did I do that right? Let me see. Oops. At or below 880. That might be a decent short. Areas of support, kind of. So I would take a look at that one, RENN. And it did reject close off of the $9. So it was an inverse head and shoulders, left shoulders, head, right shoulders, broke out, came back down. And it looks like it's, potentially fading down. So again, that one might be a nice one to watch for a short. Let's see here. RENN. Yep. PGH. Nope. PES. Yeah, Yes, but I guarantee you this is one of those 5-cent movers. Look at these crazy candlesticks. Now watch this. I bet you this one's a 5-cent mover. PES. Yep, 5-cent mover. Don't like those. ARLZ. Wait, was that one already put on? Don't like it. CLD. Potentially. Let's see here. So you want to see it break 356. Be careful right around 4. If it breaks 355, that's a potential long, or yeah, that's a potential bullish play. See some resist or some support. Could be down at the greatest short per se. And you'll see the 13 is crossing over the 50. So that might be a potential play up. So CLD. HOS. Let's see here. All right, so you're seeing here right around this 200 SMA. You want to see it break above 428, that 430 marker, to see if it's going to continue up further. There's definitely a nice drop down. It has been running. So above 423, I would say take it potentially long. Obviously, be careful around 450 and $5 marker for resistance. But this thing's also been running for a few days. Market might be turning around right around that 200 SMA. So HOS might be a nice short down potentially. I'm going to put at or below 420 short maybe. HOS. And KONA, CRMD, CDNA, WIT. Oof, look at that, huh? I don't love it. I could pull back. I think WTI is oil. I haven't been paying attention to oil lately. TRXC, MRNS, ALDX. Dang, that's crazy. ESNC, MARA. All right, so that's it for the watch list. I like some of these ones more short. Again, it's market's got to decide what it's going to do. But that's the importance, guys, of just learning how to long, learning how to short, play things both ways, look at what the market's doing. Sometimes it's tough to find bullish plays if the market's pulling back or trading sideways, and sometimes it's harder to short when the market is going up. So it's important to learn both ways of trading. So again, I'll just take a couple minutes here, just do some housekeeping here. I do this at pretty much the end of every video, especially because we have so many newbies joining us on a daily basis. But if you haven't yet, make sure you go over to Facebook, pull up our fan page here, Bullish Bears, like and follow our fan page. That way you'll stay up to date with our latest updates, as well as get our trade ideas and Benzinga news and watch list every morning. So with trade ideas, again, hands down the best scanner in the industry. If you're looking for a scanner, excuse me, trade ideas is the best. If you can't afford them, obviously just use our watch list for right now. Look at the pre-market watch list. But at some point when you can't afford trade ideas, it's important to have a live scanner, because sometimes the best plays are not on the watch list, either of them, and it's during the live market. So that's why having a live scanner is incredibly important. We did partner with Trade Ideas to get you a 15% discount with Bullish Bears 15 as the promo code in all caps. So when you can't afford it, we highly recommend purchasing Trade Ideas, and we'd appreciate it if you click on our link over here to do that, so we can get credit for it and obviously help to continue to keep our community growing. Benzinga is hands down the best live news site. A lot of times the news will hit Benzinga before people hit it on the scanners and get it to Trade Ideas. So it's good to have a live news alert service. Again, they're a bit expensive. If you can afford it, we highly recommend it. But if you're on a budget, wait, to get it. But again, Benzinga is awesome. We do get you a 25% community discount with Bullish Bears 25 in lowercase letters. Again, these are a couple tools that are saving you a couple $100 a month that we're providing you this content with. So make sure you take advantage of it, and then purchase them whenever you can afford it down the road with our referral links and with our community discounts. So again, like and follow our fan page. As well as, if you have not been over to our website yet, make sure you head over there, bullishbears.com. Click here to email or subscribe to our email list. We send you occasional updates, but every night we send out this watch list that I'm creating right now by email. So make sure you subscribe over here. We also send out Trade Ideas options movers as well. So whatever options plays are moving during the day today, we send those at night for those that like options and are not day trading. We're sending you the Trade Ideas options list as well. So it's another huge value. Basically to be able to get the watch list from Trade Ideas pre-market, as well as the option movers throughout the day. So if you want to play options, you'll be able to be prepared by looking tonight and charting those stocks and for a potential entry tomorrow. So we're trying to provide you that value. So make sure you subscribe by email here. And if you have already subscribed by email, that's what those Trade Ideas options lists that we send are each night. It's the ones that are moving during the day. Make sure that you also pay attention when I send my email to these alerts, the active alerts that I'm sending here. And basically set up, look at your watch list. Do something like I do with Thinkorswim. Have multiple charts set up here. Watch the patterns form. Look at the alerts that I have set up here. When an alert fires off, look at the pattern and look at support and resistance, and then find potential scalps. That's all I do, pretty much. But these alerts, nobody's sending these alerts for free. Again, I'd argue that the alerts are more valuable than joining someone's trade room that just gives you what trade that they're in, because this is teaching you how to become a good trader yourself, not on how to copy a leader's trades. And you don't want to copy leader's trades, because that leader already gets their position first and they get out before you get to sell. So they're the ones making all the money. And unless you're a really good trader that's really following them to a T, you're going to get burnt by those types of strategies. And that's why, those trade rooms have a lot of recycling and churning over of people. Again, not that they're bad. They're great trade rooms, great leaders. But if you're a newbie, it's a lot of money to be spending. And in return, you could lose a lot of money copying someone else's trades. So that's why make sure you join our trade room over here, which as of right now is free. We have over 500 members. We ideally would like to keep it that way, but just to give you an example, most trade rooms are $100 to $150 a month. You saw that we have almost 550 people in our trade room. So 500 people just times $100 a month. We're giving up $50,000, Tim, Dan, and myself, of potential monthly income right now just from our trade room alone, just because we're trying to do a different type of business model. We're trying to do like more of a kind of a faith-based model. We want to build a big community, a collaborative community. Ideally, we'd like to partner with major companies down the road that would pay us ideally to keep this type of model, this donation-based model, and basically teach you guys for free with them paying us to do it. But that's going to take a long time for us to potentially get to that place. And right now, $50,000 a month is gigantic. Tim, Dan, and myself could be doing this all full time for you guys just on that kind of monthly income alone, but we're not charging. So In return, we need to survive on your donations. We are a donation-based community, right? Which means that we survive and grow off of everybody's donation. So you don't have to donate, but the more people that donate, the less likely we'll charge membership fees down the road. And we're not anywhere near $50,000 a month in donations. So Tim, Dan, and I are not doing this full time, which just goes to show you we need much more donations coming in if you want us to continue this. So if you'd like to donate to us, you can contribute over here. And you will see at the bottom here some monthly options. We believe we're at least worth $50 to $100 a month, no doubt right now. But if you don't have that kind of money to donate, we have options for as low as $10 a month, $25 a month. You can click right here to donate monthly, or you can click right here to donate one time if you'd prefer. But again, your donations will help to keep us growing. As well as we have merchandise too. We have a whole merchandise store. We have the Bullish Bears brand. We are a copyrighted trademark brand. We have our Hope is Real slogan. As right here, you can see our apparel. So if you like our logo, Hope is Real, or you like our Bullish Bear logo, you can see my hat right here. Basically, it's like a team apparel hat. We think our logo is better than most team apparel, but if you like our logo, if you like our Hope is Real trademarked slogan, again, we have ladies apparel, men's apparel, hats, zip-up hoodies, mugs, and gifts, all of that. You can purchase it down over here. It helps us to continue to grow. And last but not least, make sure you subscribe to our YouTube channel, click the notification bell, watch our massive amounts of content that we have that we provide pretty much daily for you guys. Like our videos, share them, and comment on them. Again, we try to be very interactive. So hopefully this video helped you. Again, it's long, but I'd rather give you longer videos with filled with content that'll help you become good traders rather than just make some generic videos so you could try to, see just the watch list. I want to show you why we're putting the watch list the way it is, not just putting it together and telling you to copy it. So again, as you can see, we have a lot of subscribers that are joining on a daily basis, but we need your help, not only collaboratively, but also financially to help continue this movement and keep it growing. So hopefully this video helped you guys, and happy trading tomorrow. Enjoy.